stress free, leave your kids at home. Leave your kids at home. Do your two-step, get your groove on. This is feel good music, you can move on. Relax, stress free, leave your kids at home. Leave your kids at home.
Yo!
Hey,
What's happening?
I got some technical issues.
Yeah, listen, you're not. I don't think you're streaming on your channel, and
Come on.
I don't know.
There we go. That's better.
Yeah, I can see who's streaming, and I don't see you streaming, but I don't know. Did you hit the right button there to stream?
Can you see me?
Yeah, I see you. I hear you good, but
excellent.
I'm not sure you're streaming on your channel. Did you check the box to stream on your channel?
Let me see.
Wait a minute. We are here on the cam with the fam on a Tuesday night doing what we do. What's up, everybody? What's happening? It's your man, Russ Mitchell, the Homesick Buck. I am here with my partner in crime. There you go. I see you now. I'm here with my partner in crime, none other than the duck assassin himself, King Quack, hated by iguana and reptiles everywhere. It's my man, Charger Mopar.
Oh yeah, I'm here. I've been super hectic. Last week, my whole week was ruined by the weather. So I'm trying to play catch up with all the jobs I couldn't do. I just finished working about 20 minutes ago, and I just rushed in here, and then my computer crashed. So
yeah, that's crazy, man.
It's always a challenge.
I heard about that stuff. I heard about the flooding down there, and you were in the midst of it, man. I see this could be good or bad for you because, with the flooding, you got ducks, you got iguana, you got all kind of potential food sources being washed up into your lap there. So any adventures?
Well, we had about 14 inches of rain in 2 days, and I think probably almost 20 inches of rain for the whole week. It was crazy.
That is crazy because it's been a drought up here, and we haven't had rain in weeks up here.
We had a drought here too. Everybody's yard was dead, except for mine because I water it.
Yeah, no, listen, hey, God waters my grass. I'm telling you right now, if he wants it watered, he'll water it himself.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's how that works. Yeah,
I just overworked. Now on the way home from work, I stopped at Walmart. I got some refrigerant so I can try to charge up my van. I went ahead and I replaced the compressor, the condenser, the evaporator, and took the whole system apart. I put a new alternator in the van. So now my battery doesn't go dead anymore. I can shut off. I don't have to disconnect the battery. So that's good. But hopefully by tomorrow I'll be chilling.
You and that van need to have your own show. I mean, that's
it's like I tell everybody.
In the van.
When you're poor, you got to be resourceful.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I get it. Shout out to Darth Carnivore. Hey, I see you, brother. May the fat be with you. He says, good evening, wonderful people, and Rick. I think you've been insulted, brother.
I'm always insulted. It's normal for me. When you're a quack, you expect it.
I think the man took a shot at you, bro. That's all I'm saying. I will not have you talking to only the ducks and the iguanas hate him. Everybody else loves him. I will not have you insulting my good brother here. He's in Carnivore Rabbi. There you go. He's in an interview there. You want to tell the folks about that?
I enjoyed it as well.
Yeah. I'm not sure iguana are kosher, but
No, iguana's not kosher. But it's funny. I saw the gigantic iguana over there at the post office. I had to mail a letter. This thing had to be almost 5 feet long. It was huge, and it was looking at me. And I was walking out to my van, and I stopped, and I was looking. I'm thinking, I'm going to go home. I finally made a run for it. I tried to grab that iguana. He got over to the fence. I almost had him cornered. I grabbed his tail, and he whipped his tail around and just went through the fence, went right underneath it, over there where they parked the mail trucks. I came this close to getting him. I was going to grab him and throw him in my van.
Well, you were going to execute him first, I'm sure, and then throw him
Well,
in your van. Or do you just throw him in the back of the van, let him thrash around back there for a little?
that's what I do. Many times I got a burlap bag I keep in my truck, but I don't have one in the van. I'm going to have to start keeping a bag in there and a net because, when I work in Coral Gables and some of these high-end customers, I see big iguanas, and all those people hate them. They hate the iguanas, especially their wives. Them nasty lizards, they scare them. The one
So
lady,
they so
she was
so so wait a
screaming.
minute. So people hate the iguana wives too? They hate
Well,
the
you'd be surprised how many people hate iguanas.
That's crazy. Shout out to Leah. I see it says, appreciate you being here. Gonna say another thing I said, I think I put her comment up there, but I did not give her a proper hello. I did not address you properly, sis, and I'm addressing you properly right now. Glad you are here hanging out with us. I see my ride or die. I see my girl Nurse Kim was in here with us. Love you, sis. It's like Sandra. Sandra's here. How you doing, Sandra? I genuflect before. Don't do that. Don't do that, Sandra. Don't bow to the guy. Don't do that. That is unnecessary. And me, especially me. Don't bow down. Whew. Man, don't do that. So, but in any event, so that's crazy, man. So you're gonna get a net, and you're gonna get a burlap sack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So really it sounds like you're getting ready for iguanas or anything else you might need to kidnap, basically.
You got to be ready when they pop up. You got to be ready.
Yeah. There you go. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. He's planning crimes against animals everywhere, and we have it on video now. Oh, we have it on tape. Well, that's good, man. Other than that, I had a pretty good week this week. I've just been working, doing what we do, kind of back into the routine. I was gone for a while. It's very nice to be back home. There's no place like home. I think I heard that somewhere. And
Isn't it true that their next keto thing is going to be here in Florida?
yes, man. Yes. Keto Con 2020. Yeah, now get this. We were talking about this on another stream. They decided to move the Hack Your Health Summit to Tampa, Florida in September. What could possibly go wrong there?
A big blow?
Yeah, exactly. You're going to move your thing to Hurricane Alley right in the middle of hurricane season. So, yeah, I can only imagine they must want to cancel. They're thinking, how can we cancel this thing without really canceling it? Yes, that's, So, yeah, so that's where we're gonna be. Listen, it's in my backyard. It's funny because I did have a good time. Okay, I did have a good time. I enjoyed myself. A lot of you guys saw the videos that I made, and like I said, I had a great time. But it was big. Just a lot of people, big space. I mean, it was a big event, and I really like the smaller events. Having been to the bigger ones and the smaller ones, much more intimate, much more, interaction with the speakers and the other people. So, somebody's like, "Hey, you gonna come back next year?" I'm like, "Ugh, I don't know." Then they announced it's gonna be in Tampa next year. I'm like, well, I gotta go now. It's in my backyard. But when they said it was gonna be in September in Tampa, I'm like, that's Hurricane Alley in the heart of hurricane season. I mean, that is, yes. I mean, listen, I go north. I go to Ohio every September. Okay. And that's for a couple of different reasons, but not the least of which is because, that wind gets to blowing that, especially August, September, October. Like, the start of hurricane season is technically in June, but we hardly ever get anything in June or July because it's not hot enough long enough. You got to get that thing cooking. It's like a stew. You know, it's got to simmer and boil. So by August and September, that's when you see the intense storms. That's when you see a lot of the named storms. And so, yeah, I hope not. I hope for their sake it turns out good. But especially on that Gulf side, too. I mean, if they'd have had it over on the Atlantic side somewhere in Fort Lauderdale or Daytona or up the coast there, that would have been, even Jacksonville, that would have been probably okay because you're on the
Miami,
on the Atlantic side and you're not far north enough that, you know, and inland enough. But yeah, so we'll keep our fingers crossed and we'll see how that goes. But yeah. As always, folks, if you have questions, you can put them in the chat for our man Rick or for me. If you want to come on the stream, hang out with us, you can certainly do that. The link is in the chat. You can be part of the show. Come on in, say hey. We always love to hang out with the folks. I see my girl Lindy is here. I would like to listen. I love Lindy to death. Met her in Texas. I would like to thank her for not filing a restraining order on me. I hugged her probably one time too many. You know, but she really handled it well, and she did not call the authorities on me, and I would like to thank her for that because I was a long way from home, and it just would have been terrible. So thank you so much, Lindy, for not calling the authorities on me. It is so good to see you. You know, we love it when you come and visit us. And other than that, you know, as far as what's new with me, changed my diet up a little bit. I ate the last of my bacon, and I'm going to be off of bacon for a little while. I've just found that beef sustains me a lot better. You know, I don't know. I'm all over the place, but I'm doing good. I'm very happy with where I'm at. I'm feeling great. My blood work is great. I just did a weigh-in video, down another 5 pounds.
I saw that.
Everything's going good. I'm
Good.
very happy with everything. But man, I tell you, if I have scrambled eggs and ground beef or steak or anything like that, I'm gonna tell you, even beef sausages. I've been eating a lot of beef sausages lately. Man, it really, really sticks with me more. If I eat bacon, man, I can make 6 eggs and a pound of bacon, and I'm telling you, in 4 or 5 hours, I'm hungry again.
Yeah.
It just doesn't stick with me. But if I make those same scrambled eggs with some ground beef or some other type of beef sausage, I'm telling you, I'm not hungry for 6 or 7 or 8 hours usually. So there's just something about the bacon, and you know, I'm guessing it's not the eggs, of course, because I'm eating eggs with both. But there's something about the bacon that just isn't, as they used to say, sticking to your ribs.
Oh, I got something smells like it's burning. Oh, let me check it out. Hope my house isn't on fire. Oh.
All right, yeah. Listen, the iguanas are revolting out there in the backyard, so we got to go get the iguana and duck revolt under control back there. So let's see. Well, thank you. Less than 3. So what are you trying to say? If I hugged you 3 more times, then you would have filed a restraining order against me? That is funny. Shout out to I was back there, I had a comment just a minute ago. I'm terrible with the comments. Looks like somebody's down to 180 pounds and had some blood work that came back good. Of course, that is fantastically awesome. We love that. Right here, I think it was. Darth went to my quarterly doctor's appointment. Labs look good. Officially down to 180. Now, is that looking good according to your doctor or looking good according to us? Now, I'm going to guess, because you've been around the block more times in the ice cream truck, that you're talking about us. So I love that. Blood, man, listen. I say it all the time. Your health is in your blood. You know, a lot of times in this keto life, we get, you know, we look at the scale and we look at our sizes and our weights and that kind of stuff, and you can get discouraged. But man, if your blood work is improving, that's where your health is. We do not live on scales. We do not live in the mirrors. We live our lives out in the real world with our friends, with our family, and being able to to know that you're healing, being able to see the results in your blood work, man, that's everything. And that certainly has been the case in my life in terms of how I look at things. One thing I definitely have learned and again, I'm not like I'm some old hat at this. I mean, I've been doing it about a year now, I guess. But one thing I know for sure that I have learned is you're not going to lose the weight you want, when you want, where you want. That ain't how it works. I mean, it's like you want to lose weight around your middle, and you're losing weight in your kneecaps. It's like you got your knees are in shape, man. Your big toe, man, you've lost a lot of weight in your big toe. It's like your body wants to lose weight where it wants to lose weight and when it wants to lose weight. So yeah, I mean, it's funny because people tell me, oh, well, your face is so much thinner. Your face is, I can just tell. I'm like, not really trying to lose weight in my face. I mean, I guess it's if I had to rank where I want to lose the weight, yeah, the face would be near the bottom of the list. So, but that's just not how it works. But you got to keep believing in what you're doing. You got to keep believing in the proper human diet. And so okay, did you get the revolt under control, where the ducks and the lizards are revolting in the backyard, where they have a coup or something they were trying to?
Yeah, well, what it was, a kitchen light. I guess the old ballast finally went up in smoke, so the kitchen light was smoking, so I shut it off.
Yes, I got you. We have a question for Martin. This is a question that we've had before, and it's a popular one. And Rick loves answering this question, and we love it when he answers this question. So, and the answer might surprise you. Hit him, Rick. What does iguana meat taste like? What's it similar to?
It depends on where you get the iguana from. Generally, the freshwater canals is going to taste like chicken, but if they're close to the coastline, it's going to taste like fish. The taste can vary, and also the younger iguanas, they're more chicken-like, and the older iguanas, they have a more, not really a fishy taste, but they actually have a more, I don't know, rich flavor. It's the bigger the iguana, the better the flavor generally.
There you have it. Appreciate the question, Martin. If anybody has any questions about ducks or iguanas or burlap sacks or nets or broken down vans, we got Rick Charger Mopar in the building with us tonight. He covers all things.
I made a short video. I haven't uploaded it because it'd probably creep a lot of people out, but I had a duck that was being really aggressive that came from down the street. So I grabbed him by the tail. I brought him in the house. I sat down with him for a while. He put up a bit of a struggle, but eventually he just, like all ducks, he gave up and just started to relax. So I started patting him and acting real cute. I said, "Oh, you're a cute little ducky." And then I said, "Oh, you're nice and plump." And he started to get like funny look in his face, and I let him go. But that's strike one. They usually get 3 chances, and the third chance they go straight to the duck pen.
Oh yeah, yes, the duck pen. That's do you play any music for them? Do you play like a death march or anything too? Or you just sock it to them?
The duck pen is like a feedlot for cattle. You put them in there, you fatten them up with a lot of fruits and veggies, and get them nice and tender. Give them some female duck action so that they're happy. They're totally stress free. And then one day they stick their head through the feeding door, and the blade comes down and separates their head. They don't know what hit them.
So really, it's almost like a last wish or whatever. It's like the last meal. You get them in there, you get them some food, you get them some type of poultry fowl conjugal visits, and then off with their head and into the pot.
That's it. I like treating my animals with the ultimate respect. I want them to feel like they're living in the lap of luxury. I have a special duck pen. It has a little pump in there to circulate the water, and I change the water every couple of days. And there's plenty of fruits and veggies. I give them the best organic fruits, vegetables, and meat scraps, of course, for at least a couple weeks. That way I can get all the nastiness out of their system. They get nice and plump. They get really happy. It's sort of like the Wagyu of ducks.
Gotcha. The Wagyu of ducks.
And, Ducky wags his tail, but he's going to turn into Wagyu. So it's not me that's being wagged, but he's being wagged. And the thing is, I don't have to even cut his head off. You try to get the duck, and you're wrestling with this nasty duck, and you're trying to cut his throat, and the thing gets all stressed out. It makes the meat taste nasty. It has a real gamey flavor. There's blood all over the place, and you get to the point where you really don't want to eat duck. You get that bad feeling. But when they do it themselves, they stick their head through that guillotine, and their head's taken off, and they flap around a little bit. And you go out there and you pick up the ducky, and you have your boiling water. I already have the water boiling as soon as I set that thing up, because I know that within a few minutes it's going to be over. And then I can pluck the feathers and gut him out. And, I get him all dressed up and put in the refrigerator. And then later on that day, it's time for a fried duck or a roasted duck.
Okay, we're breaking news here, family. We're breaking news tonight. I want to make sure I understand this. I want to make sure I have this crystal clear. What you are telling me and the fine folks out here listening to us on the Keto Cookout on a Tuesday night, you're telling me that you can tell the difference between a stressed out duck and a non-stressed out duck. So you're telling me the duck that's easy like Sunday morning tastes different than a duck that was under stress or under duress at the time of his demise. Is that what you're telling people today, sir?
That's exactly what I'm saying. I know the difference because I know people that have gone and shot Muscovy duck from the canal. And when you go to eat it, it tastes so nasty. It tastes like dirt. It's just chewy. It's absolutely terrible. I mean, first of all, they don't cook them right. A lot of times they'll try to roast it. And you gotta soak that duck. You gotta marinate it in citrus juice if you want to break it down a little bit, or you got to do what I do, just slow cook it in fat. Get a big crock pot, put your duck pieces in there and let it cook real slow. Then what you can do after that, you can roast it, at 400 degrees or whatever, and get that crispy roast duck skin, or do what I do, just fry it heart attack style. You can marinate your duck, cut it up, slap that in the fryer, and boy, oh boy, it's like it's got the texture of turkey and the flavor of beef. It tastes like a delicious steak.
That is amazing. That is amazing. Leah says, "I want a hug, Russ." Listen, okay, hey, listen. We're gonna stop the show for just a minute. This goes out to all my keto cuties all around the world, all my lovely low carb ladies from sea to shining sea. Hey, listen, if you want to hug, now I don't know where you're at. You probably want to come to Jacksonville to get one. So my next event will be Keto Orlando. If you are there, you can absolutely have a hug from me. And like it or not, you may get more than one. That's just how I roll. So there you have it. Listen, I need all the love I can get from my low carb ladies, my keto cuties everywhere. I need you. And when you see me, you better hug me or I will ban you from my channel. Okay, and you hug me like I am your family. I need to feel some love, and I need to feel some low carb love in that thing. So yes, there you go, Leah. You can absolutely, positively get some low carb love from your man, the homesick Buckeye. Okay, back to this concludes the low carb lady keto cutie segment. Now let's get back to this. This is truly amazing. What do you think it is? Now, and again, I understand if you don't want to answer this. What do you think it is that makes the meat change literally in seconds? I mean, you're talking about in just minutes.
Well,
how could that possibly be?
it's got to be all that adrenaline. When the duck's putting up a fight and it doesn't want to be cooked, you have to realize that they have to put energy into their meat. They got to up the glucose. They got to get everything ready to fight, be as strong as possible. And I think it's pretty well known that when animals are stressed out, the meat definitely has a more dirt-like flavor. It's not as good. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of the commercially grown meat, they put it on feedlots to try to fatten it up, make them lazy so that they're easier to kill and the meat's going to be more mild. I mean, you think about how they raise chickens. Have you ever eaten chicken that's running around the neighborhood? It's tough and it's not the greatest meat. But, if you depends on how you do it, you're going to have to use a pressure cooker to break that meat down. But if you take a feral chicken and you kind of keep it around, fatten it up for a while, then they get more flavorful. So I think a lot of it is the adrenaline. Wild animals, people say they have a gamey flavor. And that's because wild animals tend to be leaner and they tend to be ready to escape. But the domestic animals, they're fat and happy. They don't have any stress. They have a really good life until one day it's lights out, and then I light up the oven or the grill or the stove, and get that heart attack food cooking.
Yeah, I got you. Carnivore Nurse Kim says Rick is making me not want to be a carnivore. Yeah, I don't have that feeling there. Yeah, I don't think there's anything you can do to run me off my meat. Shout out to Curvy Girl. I think that is my girl, Erica Bell. What's going on, sis? Good to see you. Love that you're here with us tonight, hanging out. And I think we had a question or a comment from somebody else. I'm not very good at this whole thing here. I bought some duck meat from Costco. Any tips on how to prepare? Yes, I would get a knife and a fork and a plate. You don't want to eat right out of the pot. And then you will be prepared to eat the duck meat from Costco. Is that what he meant? I'm not sure. Maybe he thought something as it. I think he means how to cook the meat. Yes, with heat in a pan or a pot. That's what I would suggest. Listen, I'm being silly here because I already know what you're going to say. Let me. I'm going to channel my Rick. I don't have a 1974 Star Search microphone, but I do know you well enough to know what you're going to say. Get you some lard and deep fried in lard, heart attack style. Now, did I say word for word what you were going to say?
Well, lard or beef tallow, that's right. That's the best way to cook your duck. But the thing is that Costco duck is not Muscovy duck. That's typically going to be some kind of Pekin duck, a domestic duck. They're a lot fattier and they're more tender. Those ducks, they don't run around. They don't get chased by a 6'6" duck fanatic. And, they don't eat all kinds of duck food. They just eat whatever corn and stuff they give them. So they're not eating bugs. They're not eating meat. They're not eating weeds or whatever. So the meat is going to be less flavorful. What I would recommend now, most people that eat duck, they put nasty sugar sauce on it. They have so-called duck sauce, which I call vomit sauce because it's disgusting. It's like some kind of orange flavor. It's like, it's like somebody dumped orange juice concentrate on their duck. It just ruins it. But if you're sort of if you're a keto person, you're not a hardcore carnivore like me, you might want to marinate your duck. Most store-bought duck is going to be frozen, so you're going to have to thaw the duck anyway. So what I would recommend, I don't know if you have a Latin taste or whatever, you could make your own mojo sauce using sour oranges, limes, lemons, whatever, and make your own marinade and just let that duck thaw in the marinade. Because if you take that frozen duck and you just thaw it and put it in the oven, it's not going to be as flavorful. I mean, it might be good. You might like it, but I think with store-bought duck, the best thing you can do is marinate it. And then that way, when you do cook your duck, if you decide to put it in an oven, you don't want the duck to dry out because when it dries out, it is unpleasant. It's like eating a steel-belted radio. It is nasty. But if you're not going to deep fry your duck heart attack style in beef tallow or lard, go ahead and marinate it and then put it in the oven. I mean, you could probably cook it in an air fryer if your air fryer is big enough, or you could cut it in pieces and air fry your duck. But if you're going to use a convection oven, air fryer, make sure that you add some fat to it. And as you know, add some lard or beef tallow to the outside of it. That'll help keep the moisture in. And the best thing about duck is that crispy duck skin. So you don't want to let that go. You want to make sure that you cook it just right.
There you have it, folks. The authority on all things heart attack. My man Rick is here in the building with us. Shout out to my man K Hill. I see you, brother. Greetings from the Shy. I see you out there, brother, dodging illegal immigrants and carjackers. Brother, you hang in there, man. Be strong, brother. Don't let them get you. Don't let them get you. But as always, if you have a question for my man Rick or for me, you can shoot it in the chat. You can come on the stream with us if you want to. We got the link in the chat. And, I've been sick. I got my voice back. Your man might do a song request or two. If you got a song request You want to throw that in the chat? No promises. I have to think about it. If I know it, I might hit you with a little bit of it. Your man has been known to carry a tune every now and again. So there you go. What else do we have here going on in the chat? So you're telling me now, so our man Justin Davis says duck has a strong flavor, but you're saying that's not the Muscovy duck. The Muscovy is not really that strong. It's that store-bought, other types of store-bought, different breeds of ducks. I'm not sure how many kinds of ducks there are, but are the things that have more of a flavor. I've never even seen duck in Costco. I mean, hey, listen, I'm not an expert on this stuff. Maybe I'll walk right past it and see it, or maybe they have it at some places and not others.
Even Aldi sells duck seasonally. Usually later on towards the holiday season, you can buy frozen duck at Aldi.
Yeah.
It's almost impossible to buy Muscovy duck. Nobody sells it. I mean, if you want to get Muscovy duck, you're going to have to head to the canal with some bread and a net.
Yeah. So is it a whole duck like a chicken generally? Is that how they do it? Or they do quarters?
Yeah, usually they'll do, they'll cut the head off the duck and they'll cut off the duck feet and they kind of bundle it up like a turkey or chicken. They tie the legs together and then they just put it in a plastic wrapper and then they'll freeze it. Sometimes they'll have fresh duck, but most of it's frozen because duck is sort of a specialty food. It's a lot more expensive than chicken. It's not raised on as large of a scale. So it's typically frozen. It would be like getting a frozen turkey. But it's, I mean, personally, I'm not even that crazy about store-bought duck. I've eaten it before, but it's a little too soft and fatty for my taste. I'm used to a nice, chewy Muscovy duck. It tastes a lot like the top round beef that I eat. Really delicious. I love it. I love Muscovy duck. I love them when they're alive, and I love them when they're cooking. I'll get out of my way.
You love all phases. You like them when they're alive. You like killing them, and you like them when they're gone. You are all in, man.
I'm the one that stops to rescue the ducks when they're down the drain, when they're in the middle of the road. I'll stop traffic. I've blocked traffic before to get ducks out of the road. And sometimes they're just stubborn. I just take my net, I grab them, I throw them in my truck or van, and I take them home with me.
There you go. Copper's Carnivore Kitchen. Appreciate that. And yes, somebody hit the like button. Hit the like button, folks. Share it with your people. Let folks know what we're doing over here. We got King Quack himself in the building. Kale's going with the soul, the old soul. I see the old soul. I don't know all I know is, I want to spread the news that if it feels this good being used, you just keep on using me until you use me up. I don't even know yeah, I don't know the words. Except for that part. That's the only part I know. Hope that satisfied your Bill Withers urge. I could have hit you with some other Bill Withers, maybe like some. I see the crystal raindrops fall on the window down the hall. I could have hit you with that. Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us, you and I. There you go. Give me some Bill Withers in the house. So he said he lived in Anchorage for 6 years. Man, that's you're back to the Chi. I wonder if you're originally from the Chi. I just ordered one from Costco about an hour ago to try it in
air fryer.
The air fryer, gotcha. Yeah, so I had to figure that out. When you're good looking as I am, you don't have to be that smart. So
you just, like I said, if you're going to use the air fryer, make sure you put plenty of fat on it. Don't let that duck dry out or you will regret it.
Yeah. So it's really not like chicken in that way.
No. Chickens are kind of, the domestic duck, sure, that's soft, but wild Muscovy duck, I'm an expert when it comes to cooking Muscovy. Everybody else I know that tried to cook one, it was inedible. They give me duck meat. I'm like, what is that? Is that shoe leather? said, no, I cooked the duck. You want a piece of it? I'm like, what kind of duck is that? It's nasty. So you don't know how to cook duck. I'll show you how to cook a real duck. And like I said, Muscovy duck has the texture of turkey and the flavor of beef.
There you have it. Mary Bell's in the building. Hey, sis, good to see you. Hola, back to you. Cahill was born and raised in Chicago. Oh, look at that. Copper's Carnivore Kitchen says Teddy P. I think you better let it go. Oh, yeah. Looks like another love TKO. Yes, there you go. Some Teddy Pendergrass. Another one that I don't know a lot of the words to. I know the tune, but I don't know the words. Little bits, that's all you need anyway. Just little bits. Just a little dab will do you. This is not karaoke. This ain't the Quiet Storm. Okay, we're on the Keto Cookout.
Well, instead of using brill cream, you got to use lard. That's what I use.
Yes, and he's not kidding, ladies and gentlemen.
And it's not a little dab, it's a big handful of lard. The more the better. That's why my hair looks the way it does. Look at all that hair. Covered in lard for decades.
Oh, man. How has no one domesticated Muscovy for broader reach? Don't answer that. What do you think about that?
They kind of have. I mean, they have over in Europe, they have what they call a mule duck, which is a mallard and a Muscovy that they mate. They tend to be white and they tend to be bred for, domestication. But mine are the semi-wild, the black and white and silver and gray and all the other colors. They have a better flavor. They're a little bit on the wild side. They're very difficult to keep domestically because if you try to stuff them in a building like you do with chickens, you're going to have one massive duck fight, and it's not going to be a pleasant experience. And then you'll have a big duck die off because they can't live all cooped up like that. But if you have plenty of room, I mean, people raise them, they eat them. It's just commercially, you can't make any money off of it because you can't mistreat them like you can commercial chickens. You can stuff them in a building, and in 3 months, you got marketable meat. It takes at least 6 months to a year to get a delicious Muscovy duck, and they eat a lot more, and they are a lot more aggressive when they're not happy. They're gonna let you know it. They're gonna attack each other. They'll attack you if they get a chance. So the problem with Muscovy is if you want to have good Muscovy meat, you got to have good conditions. They have to be happy, well fed, and low stress.
Then I'll put their head into a pot. Yes.
Well, once their head is removed, they don't have to worry about stress. The only thing they have to worry about is tasting good, and they will taste good. I have never had a bad tasting Muscovy duck that I prepared myself. Now, some of the ones that other people have done have been absolutely horrible. But in fact, the one, it tasted like old liver and shoe leather. It was disgusting. I said, "What is this?" "This is duck." I said, that ain't duck. That's disgusting. "Oh, it's a Muscovy duck." I'm like, "Oh, you don't know how to prepare it. You probably shot the thing on the side of the canal when it was running away, and it was probably eating a bunch of garbage over there behind the shopping center. No wonder it tasted bad." I'm telling you, you got to give them all those tropical fruits, the bananas, the mangoes, whatever you can get. The more fruit, the better to fatten them up, make them lazy and tender, and then they're good for cooking.
There you have it, man. We've gotten more information tonight on how to cook a duck, how to tenderize them, how to soften them up before you guillotine them. Yes, man, we got it all for you here. The Keto Cookout, folks. That's what we're all about: knowledge, information, and death to all ducks everywhere. Mary Bell says, getting ready for 5K Tuesday run. Come run with me. I have a better idea. How about I don't? Hey, listen, how about this? How about you come fly with me? Come fly with me. Let's fly away. Listen, I am not going to get out and run a 5K because, frankly, I think I would sprain my whole life. I think, have you ever sprained your whole life? I mean, it's just everything, just your all generations sprain and hemorrhage everything. I think that's probably what would happen to me if I tried to run a 5K. How about I run a 0.0005K? How about that? How about that?
What's the sense of running if you're not out there trying to catch something to cook it? I really don't see the sense. If you see me running, something bad is going to happen or something good is going to be cooking. So that's why I tell everybody I do not run. I used to see people jogging back in the 80s, and I used to laugh at them. Like, get a bicycle or get a car if you want to get somewhere. Just running out there. They
Yes.
wear the spandex. They look ridiculous. Over there, jog, jog, jog. I'm like, that can't be good. You're shaking yourself,
Yes.
you're pounding yourself. Why bother? For me, like
Yes.
I said, when I run, I want to go get something. It's a short distance, and then after that, I take a break.
Yes. You can run a 5K. I'm gonna run a 5FT. That's a 5. I'm gonna run a 5FT, and then I'm gonna work my way up to a 50FT. And then I'll probably quit there. I take long, slow, romantic walks to my refrigerator, and that's really all that I'm going to be doing at this time. But best of luck to you. Listen. Did she just boo me? Nobody boos me. I'm me. The only people that boo me are vegans and vegetarians. And the occasional carnivore hater, that jumps on me when I eat a tomato or something. But yeah, I can't believe it. I've been booed by my girl, Maribel Quesada. Oh, man, I tell you what, it never stops.
I don't know. I don't see what the big deal is. If you want to eat some plant material, what is the big deal? Who cares?
Yeah,
go out there and eat some veggies, eat some fruits, whatever. Just don't eat the duck food. If it comes in a bag, box, and has an ingredients list, it's not fit for human consumption. If you can kill it or you can pick it, go for it. Why not?
Yeah, look, you already know we've had this conversation. Yeah, I don't care what you eat. I'm not the food police, man. I ain't the one gonna knock the biscuit out your hand. However, I am the Food Information Bureau. I'm gonna tell you all about it, and hopefully you can make better choices for yourself. Yeah, brother, I sprained my heart, except for my face. I think my face will be okay. My lips, I think, will be good. I think everything would hurt but my face on that. And yeah, I think yes, I can drive 5K. Now that's
it.
Exactly right.
I agree with that 100%.
Apex, what's happening? Good to see you. Doc V is in the building.
We got a lot of good people today. It's amazing.
Yes, I can't listen. I want to thank everybody for having mercy on me and just even Rick's here to support me, and I appreciate that. I love to chop it up with the family. We come in here and clown and act a fool, and just do what we do here. Community fun. If you want to learn absolutely nothing, come on over here. We have nothing. It's just you just want to laugh and act a fool. This is the spot. But yes, all jokes aside, I support everybody and everything that they're doing, man. I love it. The fasting. I announced it in the chat. I have started a new program, a fasting program. It's called night fasting. Some people call it sleep, but I've chosen to call it night fasting. I refuse to eat anything while I'm sleeping. I'm going to do it every day, pretty much. And yeah, that's what we're going to do. Night fasting. So people ask me about.
A lot of people in the carnivore community, they always talk about, how long you should fast. And I'm one of those people that eats whenever I have to. I haven't had my dinner yet. My dinner's cooking because I was out working. I didn't get home till almost 9 o'clock. And basically, I got my meat cooking in the pot. And when it's ready, I'm going to eat it. I eat 3 meals a day. I'm not going to go for this intermittent fasting and OMAD and all this other nonsense. I've been eating 3 meals a day my whole time. Sometimes I eat 10 o'clock, 10:30 at night. I go to bed at midnight. I get up at 7:30 or 8. And I've never had a problem. I'm skinny. I'm active. I'm 56 years old and I work like a 25-year-old. I spent all day working today, back and forth, moving things. I've been in and out of the van. You wouldn't believe how many steps I made. One time I put a pedometer, it was like 15,000 steps in a day. It was crazy. And I don't care about, it's different. I tell people, look, if you sit at a desk all day, you're going to have a different routine. You're going to have to eat differently. You need to do things differently than I do. I'm always on the move. I use so much energy. When it's time to go to sleep, I go to sleep. I could eat, for example, let's say I ate at 11 o'clock. I could be in bed at 12 and out. I'm out like a light. And I get up at 8 o'clock. And you know what's the first thing I do? I start cooking my breakfast. I don't skip breakfast ever.
Yeah.
But on the good side, I don't eat snacks.
Yeah, again, some people have been doing it longer. I've been doing it the better part. I would say really seriously since probably September. I did it, and from May till September was like a weird time. I was kind of all over the place. I slid back and forth from my old diet, which was Eatovore, to Edo. I was on the Edo diet to carnivore. I slid back and forth there. And then, because honestly, I didn't buy in fully. I don't have any problem saying that. It sounded crazy to me. The whole thing was nuts. I was still kind of investigating, and I was struggling a little bit, but it just was odd and weird to me. But then I started seeing good results and stuff, and so by September, maybe August of last year, I really was all in. And yeah, I dibble and dabble here and there, but like 90%, I was in. And so from that aspect, I haven't been doing it that long, but I gotta eat, man.
Yes.
I'm not yet at that place where I can't be hungry. That's good. Nothing will derail me faster than being hungry. That's how I end up face down in the mashed potatoes and gravy at Golden Corral. That's just how. Yeah, seriously. If I'm hungry and there's like nothing, I have to keep the fridge full. I do my meals ahead and put them in, because when I'm hungry, I gotta eat, man, or I'm gonna be in somebody's drive-through somewhere. That's just what it is. So yeah, man, I'm not at a place where I can fast. I call it, starving myself, intentionally starving myself. I'm not doing that yet. Maybe down the road when I get to a certain place. But right now, I keep it simple. I encourage people that are just starting to be, to keep it simple, because there's all different people at all different levels of this thing. And a lot of people are doing the challenges and the fasting and the autophagy and the this and the that. And for a guy like me, yeah, I'm still in the beginning phases of this thing, even though it's been about a year, I guess, close to a year. I'm just not at a place yet where I'm going to starve myself. I eat till I'm full. I eat when I'm hungry. And I just keep it simple: high fat, high protein, low carb. And I'm doing well, loving it. And when I get to a place, down the road a little further, if I want to take it to the next step, then I'll do that. But right now, man, I keep the main thing. And that is blood sugar and insulin low, with high fat, high protein, and doing what I do. Shout out to Marnie Mac. Good to see you. And listen, that's I do not care. Listen, I'm not. All of this is free, and all the jokes are free, all the laughs are free. Anything I do not. I could not sleep with a good conscience charging anybody for anything I do or say on the internet. I just could never. We have a question for you, Rick, and I already know. You already know. I have a feeling how this is going to go. But if you want to see it, you want to see the gas face. You just ask him about some of that kind of stuff there. When was the last time Rick ate pasta? See, there's the gas face, ladies and gentlemen. There is the gas face. Yes, you want to see the gas face? Just ask him about anything that human beings eat that did not have parents.
Oh.
So he asked when was the last time. He didn't ask you to eat some.
Let me think. I ate a lot of that stuff when I was growing up, the spaghetti and meatballs, but a lot of times I would throw the spaghetti out the window and grab the meatballs. Um, when was the last time I had pasta?
When was the last time that I heard him say, Mama
Oh,
and Daddy make pasta? You'll go.
I went, let me think. I had a customer take me out to eat. I think it was in 2003, and they had some kind of Alfredo or whatever, and it had shrimp or whatever, shrimp Alfredo, and it was mixed in with pasta. And I was trying to pick the shrimp out of it, which wasn't bad. But when I got to the pasta, I kept getting these little bits of it in there, and I was trying to avoid eating it. And I ate some of it, and I mean, it was okay, but then it seemed to me like I was being cheated out of the good stuff. They put a lot of pasta in there, but they just don't put a whole lot of shrimp. So it's not. I mean, I don't really hate pasta. I just to me it seems like I'm getting cheated. If I go somewhere to eat, they load it up with pasta, and then there's not enough meatballs. There's not enough fish. There's not enough shrimp. It had to be, I think it was 2003, because I know at that time I was starting my second business and I had a customer take me out to eat somewhere. And, a lot of times people try to be nice and they take you out to eat. And I don't want to tell them that the food is duck food. So I try to pick through there and see what I can eat. And I did eat some of the pasta, but it didn't do anything for me. It was like, it's like survival food. It's like eating military rations or something. It's if I go somewhere like, for example, they have a steak dinner. They always have steak, baked potato, fries, whatever. I think to myself, can't you just give me a little more steak? I mean, I don't need the potato. I don't need the fries. I just want steak. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think it was like 2003. So it's been more than 20 years.
Yeah. BK Belgian Carnivore says hello to all the fellow carnivores, which basically she's saying if you are keto or ketovore or any of that, she's not saying hi to you. Just the fellow carnivores. That's it. Only the carnivore people. So the heck with you if you like guacamole or salsa. Glad you're with us, BK. I love that. Okay, KL says yes. That'll be a Roger. Copy that. Yes, that is a positive Ghost Rider. I do that every day and living my best life. William McCartney. Hey, appreciate you, brother. Good to see you. And what else we got? Make sure I get everything.
There's nothing like beef to satisfy that need.
Yeah. Stevie Wonder. See, now there's some songs. I know plenty of Stevie Wonder songs. All right. So, BK has a question for Rick. What did Rick eat during the Super Bowl? Anything that had parents.
Well, I have to admit, I don't remember exactly when the Super Bowl was because I don't watch
February.
sports.
The end of February.
Yeah, it's in February sometime. I was probably like now, a lot of times for dinner, this is what I'll have. I have a beef top round. I eat about 2 pounds of it for dinner. I usually have about I had heart attack chicken for lunch. I had 5 pounds of heart attack chicken, which is basically chicken legs that were on sale at Fresco y Mas. And now I'm having this. So this is just part of it. This is like a little bit because I'm hungry. I'm not really hungry, but it's like it's hard to describe. Some people get really hungry. I don't my stomach doesn't hurt, but I just don't feel satisfied until I've had something delicious to eat. When I've had delicious food, then my mood is it's just right. Sometimes I get a little irritated. It's been a long day, but after a tasty piece of steak or meat, it's delicious. There's nothing like it.
Can't argue with that. And see, that's BK felt guilty. See, that was rude. She felt rude there. She felt like she was being rude. I was just teasing you, BK. I was just teasing you. We know what you meant. And we do have, it's mostly a carnivore crowd in here, but it is the Keto Cookout. Everybody's welcome. We don't care what you eat. As long as you like to have fun, have a good time. You can even eat terrible duck food if you want. I'm not going to knock the donut out of your hand, although I will try to just gently encourage you to put it down. Lay them biscuits down. Down with biscuits, up with briskets. That's what we try to get you with the Keto
Biscuits are
Cookout.
crap. I can't believe anybody eats them. Yeah.
Well, I'm not. Listen, we've had this. You and I have had this conversation many, many times. I have not been doing this long enough that I have forgotten lots of things that on Thanksgiving Day I may or may not indulge in. But I eat what I want. I just don't want to eat that stuff anymore. That's really the truth of it. Um, here and there, again, on a holiday or something, but my normal life is, high fat, high protein, low carb. That is the proper human diet. That is what's going to give us the best health. But I'm not going to be smug about it and act like I don't sometimes do some things that are not good for me. I started with keto. I like carnivore more. Yeah, I'm the same way, BK. And listen, I think most people, that's how they do it. I really do. I think so. Oh, we have a birthday. Is there a birthday?
Ah, nice.
Let me see if I can remember that.
I turned
I think they
56 last week myself.
Oh, I don't know that. Well, I'll sing happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear BK. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you, BK. Happy birthday to you. There you go. I love that. Birthdays are wonderful. And birthday steak, not birthday cake. We appreciate that. On that note, I'm going to ask a question. This may be controversial. This will get hate from people, probably. Does anybody drink alcohol? We haven't. Come on, where? Listen. Okay, I know I got some luscious and some closet drunk somewhere in my crowd there. I know there's at least. I know there's at least one closet drunk out there. Somebody is out there right now sipping on some wine and eating some bacon out there in the field right now. There's got to be. I'm just wondering. That's not something I hear a lot about. And you know me, family. If I'm going to tell it, then I got to tell it all, okay? I tell it all. So I'm just wondering how people deal with that. I know, not people that have had like problems or addiction problems. Not talking about that. I'm just wondering if people drink wine, beer, anything like that from time to time, or, people just drinking, taking bacon grease shots now. Is that what people do? No. So you can answer that if you want. If you don't want to answer that, you don't have to. I'm not trying to put anybody in the spot. But, there is no judgment here. I just wonder what people do or what people think about it. So we got a lot of happy birthday wishes to be. Happy birthday. Go ahead, Rick. Okay, what is your thought on all that stuff there? What do you think about that? Do you ever have a couple of beers or some shots or a little bit of whiskey or some, I don't know. What do you do?
Well, first of all, I hate beer. I think it's disgusting. I don't like the taste of it. Now, there are some, let's say, out of the ordinary beers that have a relatively good flavor, but all that crap that they have, like Miller Lite and Bud Light and all that other stuff, it just, I don't know, it tastes like, yeah, I don't know why people drink this stuff. It's just my drink of choice, as you probably know, is water.
It's rainwater from your roof. Rainwater
Mm-hmm.
right off your roof. I know, man. You got. He doesn't have gutters. He has a shot. He has glasses all around.
Well, I don't collect it off. I have stainless steel containers that I put outside with a stainless steel funnel. It has a little filter on it, but yeah, that's rainwater. And we got so much rain that I got a whole refrigerator full of rainwater now.
Yeah.
So I love natural water, and I do. I love ice. I drink a lot of ice water because they told me that ice water is bad for you. So I made sure I drank plenty of it. But when it comes to alcohol, the few times I've had it, sometimes I'm with the friends. They're having a cookout or whatever, and they'll have either some vodka or they'll make a martini or whatever, and I'll have a little bit of it, but I just don't find it that exciting. I'm much more excited about the steak that's cooking, because as soon as I bite into that steak, that's when I get the real excitement. The alcohol, it kind of burns your mouth. You swallow it, it doesn't really taste that good. And then sometimes it gives you a little bit of a funny headache or whatever. And I really don't see the point of it. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
I was never a drinker. I was more of an eater. But I tell a story. I have an estranged sister that I hadn't seen for 30 years. And my dad was down visiting, and she came down to visit. And she likes to drink beer. And so, like I said, I hadn't seen her in over 30 years, really. And she came over and she's like, do you drink? I'm like, no. And she's like, well, I need to drink some beer. I want some beer. I'm like, okay. So I bought her some beer, and she drinks Michelob Ultra, which is a light beer. And and she said, you want to have a beer with me? And I thought about it. I haven't had a beer in probably 20 years. But I was like, I think I will. And so I sat there and had a couple of beers with my sister. Now, I looked at the label, of course, because I look at the label everything. And it was 4% alcohol and 2.5 carbs in the bottle. So, it was within the macros and all that. And I don't really know the nutritional information on alcohol. I think alcohol has a lot of sugar in it, so at least some do. I know my sister Debbie likes to drink wine, and sweet wines at that. So I'm guessing there's sugar content on that. But I'm going to have to look at that and see what, the powers that be say about that, and look at the different nutritional information on. But it's just something that I never really hear about in these spaces. I've not heard anybody talk about it outside of addiction. Like, hey, I used to be a real bad drunk, and then I got on carnivore or keto, whatever, and I stopped drinking that way. But in terms of people who just, recreational, had a few beers with their buddies, watching football, whatever, I don't know if they still do that or if they do it here and there. I'm guessing the light beers probably have way less carbs and all that than the full, brews, I guess. I don't know. It hit me. And I thought to myself, I'm going to ask the family about this and see what they do, how they do, what the word is on it. Again, it's not something I plan on doing with any regularity. But, I just wondered what people will say. I had my first beer in 12 years the other day. Yeah, I had my first beer in probably 15 or more. I can't remember. Red wine is medicine. Okay, so we got some folks out here that like to knock a few back. Susan, good to see you, sis. I love that. My 1-year anniversary is tomorrow. I have no interest in cake or donuts anymore. Christmas, Thanksgiving, I make keto sweets. I'll talk about this briefly. And I love that, Susan. Oh, I love that. That's wonderful. I don't eat really a lot. I have some keto chocolates that I eat, little bits. And if I want something, I want the real thing. I'm not really a keto sweets kind of guy. And I really don't want to eat that stuff, period, anymore. Not with any regularity. I'm past that. Like, I don't make keto pizza, keto lasagna, or carnivore, things. I don't try to rival my old life with my new life. Now, that's just my choice. Listen. Whatever keeps you on the rails, I'm a fan of that. Anything that keeps you away from the junk food and the fast food. If you need a keto treat or if you need a keto pizza or something like that, man, have at it. I am not the food police. Like I said, no judgment here. But, man, I don't want pizza anymore. I mean, not regularly. I'm not going to say I'll never in life have another slice of pizza again. A few times a year with friends or something. Same way with the sweets and the stuff. I don't want muffins and pancakes and stuff anymore. I just don't want that stuff anymore. And if I do, like if I really am in a spot where it's like, man, I think I want a hot dog, I'll have one. I really will. I don't try to substitute. And that's just one goofy guy in Jacksonville, Florida's thoughts about it. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just sharing, kind of my thoughts. What do you think, Rick?
Well, let me tell you, I got home from work late today. I'm over here eating my dinner while I'm here in the Keto Cookout, and it's so easy. I don't even have to think about it.
Yeah.
I turn on the stove. I let the stove do the cooking for me. Can you imagine having to cook all them donuts and cakes? And that's a pain in the neck. You got to mix all that crap together. Then you got to try to bake it, and you hope you don't burn it. How many times you see a movie where somebody puts something in the oven, and next thing you know, there's smoke coming out and it's ruined. The way that I cook, it's just so easy. In fact, even when I'm on the road, I can throw something on the engine or I can fire up the portable grill. I don't have to worry about a drive-through. I mean, why would I lower myself to go to a drive-through and eat a bunch of duck food? Oh,
Okay.
there goes
Well,
my duck
listen,
phone.
man.
You hear that? Quack,
Yeah.
quack, quack.
Well, listen, like I've said a couple times, I'm not that far beyond. I keep it real with the family. I share it all because, again, I want people, if the people who have been doing this a long time, they're on their own, kind of on their own thing. But a lot of people who are new and starting out, I got people that watch the show and stuff that aren't even doing, keto or carnivore or anything like that. They're just trying to figure it out. They think it's kind of hokey and crazy. And, they listen to the stories and things like that. And they enjoy that. And I'm silly and do silly things. They like that stuff too. And, to me, it's like, hey, if I can get you thinking about your carbs, or if I can just give you that awareness of your carbs, it's only a matter of time before you're going to, probably get that diabetes diagnosis or have some health problems and, get interested in changing your diet. So I keep it non-judgmental and all that. But listen, man, I'm not going to sit here, and I don't know, maybe I'll get to the point someday where I don't want to eat those things ever, but I'm not there yet. Listen, on Thanksgiving Day, man, that mac and cheese and that mashed potatoes and gravy and that stuff that you get the gas face for, I'm not going to sit here and act like it's not delicious. I mean, it's just what it is. And I do look forward to those few times a year. And I will say this, though, interestingly enough, and maybe I'm saying exactly making a point. When I do have those opportunities, when I am back home or when I am out with friends, whatever, I have to say that I am doing it less and less. I can honestly say that. So, when I first started doing this and I would, go to my Uncle Joe's or whatever, and man, they have all that good Southern food out there. I'd have some. And then, I get back to my regular scheduled programming. Now, when I go, I have a little less than I did the time before, and a little less. And so who knows? Maybe I'll get to a point where, I won't want it at all. But no, when I go to the family get-togethers and stuff, man, listen. I mean, I do enjoy some of that old, it's kind of like I say, it's like living in a bad neighborhood, and then you kind of come out of there and you move to a nice place. You don't want to live in the old neighborhood anymore, but you still got some old friends you might go to see every once in a while. You know what I'm saying? But you're out of there. You don't stay that long. You go back to the old neighborhood. You see a few friends, and then you're out of there. And so that's kind of where I'm at with my diet, man. I love what I'm eating. I love the health improvements I'm getting. But every few times a year, I go back to the old neighborhood, man, and I see some of them old friends that I used to have, and I don't stay long, but I haven't got to the place yet where I don't, ever want to again in life have that stuff. And I'm lucky I don't have the problems a lot of people have. If I felt like I fell off a roof every time I had some macaroni and cheese, I probably wouldn't eat it wanted either. But that's kind of not the thing for me. Let's see what the crowd
Macaroni
says.
and cheese, that was torture when I was a kid. I hated that stuff.
Yeah,
The worst, that so-called cheese.
My grandma didn't make it for you. My grandma would have made it. Yeah, you'd have been all right.
That stuff, it
Dave,
looks
good to see
nasty.
you, brother.
Hey, David's here.
Yep. Go ahead. What were you saying?
There are some really good people that comment on my channel, and they're regulars, and I'm very happy that you're here. This is the best part of being a carnivore, meeting all these other great people
Oh
that
yeah.
they're on this journey, and nothing
Yes.
better.
Absolutely, man. The family is the best. And, I certainly appreciate them. That's why I go to the events, to see people. And, It's just it is the best. I love the community, love the family, and we support each other. Most of us do. And so from my standpoint, I don't have any judgment. Eat what you want to eat. We have knowledge, we have information, we know, the proper human diet, and it's again, some of us struggle, some of us don't, some of us struggle more or less than others. I mean, everybody's is different, and as long as you're making progress, as long as your health is getting better, I don't care what you eat. I really don't. But I'll give you the information, try to help you if you're looking for it, and then of course support you. That's a big part of it too. Darkville Carnivore, good to see you. I think there was a comment on yes, Christmas nicely chocolate and a birthday cake for Russ. Yes, and that's kind of where I'm at too. I don't, my daily life, is very carnivore. I still season with some vegetables. I love the grill ups like onions and mushrooms with my steak or whatever. I like some peppers and onions in my ground beef from time to time. I like salsa. I use salsa and guacamole and things like that. I use Italian seasonings and little bits of tomato sauce, in my ground beef from time to time. I mean, I do different things. But in terms of like vegetables, making big pots of vegetables, nah, them days are over for me. If I'm out at a restaurant, sometimes may have a little bit of something like that, but not at home. And I do like eating that way. I really I'm happy about it. I've been experimenting with some different cuts of meat. Maybe we'll talk about that next week. And having fun with that. Just all the different cuts and the different parts of the animal. I got some skirt steak. I had some shout out to I will say this and then we'll wrap up. Shout out to my girl Christy at Meeting Wellness. One time on a stream, I heard her talk about picanha had become her new favorite cut of meat. And I thought to myself, she's crazy like that glue. I mean, how can you possibly have a better cut than the ribeye? I mean, I understand there's other good cuts, but I've never had, a cut that I liked more than, the ribeye. But I never had picanha. And then I ended up going to a steakhouse and having it, and it was fantastic. And I actually bought some and made it the other night, and it was fantastic. I mean, it was so good, I couldn't believe I made it. I had an argument with myself about who made it. That's how good it was. I mean, I was sitting there arguing with myself. I'm like, man, this is good. Who made this? Like, I did. No way. You could not have possibly made that. So I'm telling you, I have to, I didn't say anything, but I quietly was thinking, that's a load of bull. But now I'm like, yeah, I can kind of see that. It looked like somebody popped in just under the wire.
Well, hey guys, how you doing?
Hey,
our man Davis here. Listen, we gotta give you a appropriate entrance. You gotta bring you in the right way.
How you doing, big guy?
Yes, I certainly appreciate you coming in here and hanging out with us. But you're about an hour late, but it's okay, man.
I've only got a few minutes anyway. I've been writing.
Yeah. No, you're good. You are good, brother. It's always good to see you. I always enjoy our conversation, and frankly, Rick's got nothing better to do. So, we'll extend a little bit here, man.
There while you were talking.
Yeah, man. Listen, he has to keep himself entertained there. It's he's got the attention span of a fruit fly. It's not a problem, man. That's my guy. I love Rick. That's my man. So what's going on, brother? Talk to me. What's new? What you got going on in your life, and what's happening?
Yeah, just refocusing at the moment. I'm trying to refocus on things that I really want to do. So this morning I spent all morning, the last 6 hours, actually writing. So kind of all written out today. So getting into my book and just trying to refocus on that. I've got a few plans for next year, so I'm sort of, yeah, I've been distracted the last several months trying to keep up with this YouTube stuff. It's very time consuming.
Yes, yes.
It's distracted me from the things that, other things that I should be doing. So I'm trying to sort of narrow my margins a bit and just try and get back into it.
Yeah, I had to do that myself. It just can become overwhelming because there's always people streaming. There's always a stream to watch or be on. And then you got to worry about your own content if you're a content creator. And you really have to, in my opinion, just pick your spots, do what's important and what kind of fulfills you the most and what you think gets the best message out. For me, it's the Keto Cookout. I love the Keto Cookout. I do this show mostly for me. It's therapeutic for me. I love kicking it with the family, coming out, cutting up, acting a fool, all that kind of stuff. And I miss it when I'm gone, and I enjoy the back and forth with the folks. So that's something I'll always do. As long as I get some people to come on with me, I'll always do that. And it's fun and it's different. There's nothing else really like it out there. And then I do a couple individual things. But the rest of it, I just, again, it can really overtake you. So I understand.
Yeah, it can. Yeah. And it's really difficult to keep up. Like, there's always something you want to update, or there's always something you can talk about. But, making the videos and that sort of stuff is really, really time consuming.
Yeah.
Plus, there's
editing.
Watching everyone else's stuff is, I can't keep up with that at all. Like, there's just always so much coming out. So enjoying that steak, mate. Looks good.
Yeah, that's YouTube gold right there. It's like feeding time at the zoo. But no, but I mean, yeah, and that's the other thing too. I mean, there are so many people that I love, and I love their content, and I'm friends with them. But I just, like I said, you'd have to just have a whole day to just sit and watch everybody's streams and everybody's, things.
Yeah, even that wouldn't be enough, like, it's just so much come out.
And especially
really good information too.
Yeah, a lot of people do the live streams because they don't want to or don't know how to edit. So there's, obviously that aspect of it. That's why a lot of people just do live streams. And then, I do the editing. So I do the videos and stuff and record them. And that way you can kind of control when they come out and stuff. And you don't have to be there necessarily. As a live stream, you got to devote the time. So, it's just, and it's evangelism for me. Some people, have other motivations in terms of clicks and views and likes and, monetizations and super chats and stuff. I have none of that. I mean, that is
I'm much the same. Like, I'm not monetized either, and I really don't like that clickbait stuff. Like, stupid headlines like, "Oh, I quit carnivore," and then all of a sudden, like, it's just all they did was just like limit, like they went to lion diet or some stupid thing like that. It's just clickbait stuff. I just not into.
I mean, this is evangelism. That's what it is. This is purely evangelism for me. I know what it's like. I know the struggle. I'm in the struggle. I still look like the before and after picture. So I get it. I mean, and that's what I want to show people. I didn't wait till I lost, hundreds of pounds to come on and say, oh, look at me and all that, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's wonderful. Those people are very inspirational. I'm not throwing any shade, but, I just wanted to give a real, just something real. Like, hey, this is me. I'm, 500 plus. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it my way. And I'm going to have fun doing it, man. We're going to laugh. We're going to have fun. That's the essence of who I am. And I want to share this with everybody because it's basically set me free. It's changed my life. And I want, that for other people if they're searching.
Well, that's the thing too. Like, you haven't sort of got that picture where you've lost all that weight yet, but you are feeling healthier. You're feeling better.
Oh man, my life is 100. My life is 180 degrees from where it was a year ago, dude. I could, man. Listen, it's a miracle in many ways. I have to laugh about it all the time because, I mean, you're talking to a guy like it's when you look at those videos of me out at these events, with and these are big places, like these are big arenas, and you got to park. Like the event in Texas, you had to park out in the parking garage, you had to hump across the whole thing into the building, and then hump all across this building. Man, a year ago, I couldn't have made it from my car to the elevator in the damn car in the garage.
Yeah.
I mean, you would have had to come call somebody, okay, to get me. I could never have walked around that place and done that stuff. I mean, so that stuff was a miracle. Dude, I go to the grocery store like 2 or 3 times a week now, mostly trolling for cheap meat.
Yeah.
Before October of last year, I hadn't been in a grocery store in 7 years.
Yeah.
I couldn't have made it from my car, from the parking lot to the front door.
Yeah.
So
getting that freedom back is a huge deal. People don't understand.
Absolutely.
I was the same. Like I couldn't move. I was stuck in bed. Basically, my wife could have lifted me up if she wanted to, but it was being unable to move, being that restricted. Yeah, it's I mean, it's not just hard on your body, but I mean, it's hard on you mentally as well. Not being able to move.
Listen, I mean, I'm a guy. I always talk about my depression-resistant mind. I have a mind that doesn't lend itself to depression. I might get down, but I don't stay down. Yeah. And so even through all that stuff, it's just kind of the way I'm built, and the people who raised me. You don't complain. There's somebody somewhere that would love to be in your shoes. There's somebody somewhere that would give anything, to have the level of problems you have. Poor you, So that's just how I'm wired and how I'm built. But it was definitely, getting tougher and tougher.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, you always have good days and bad days, I think, as well. Like, I think a lot of people do kind of, when they start telling themselves they identify as being depressed, sort of thing. Like, I never really identified myself as being depressed. I had low days, I mean, really, really low days.
Yeah.
But, it wasn't 24 hours a day. And you still have your good days as well. It's very much up and down.
Yeah. Yeah, no, man. I even with all the problems that I had, and again, I'm blessed. I've always felt blessed and fortunate for life, for my family, for so many blessings that you have, little things. I mean, you can't ever forget just the little things in life that, people take for granted. So I definitely don't have that. But, for me, like I said, it's just evangelism. And I've had some life things that really have slowed me down over the last few months, but those things really have blown over. So I will be making a few more videos. I got to dig up the Reverend and get him fired up again. I mean, just a lot of things I need to do. But people ask me about that. I get that question all the time. When is the Reverend coming back? And people don't always understand, like I have to be in a certain frame of mind to do it. It's like when you do these characters and stuff, I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but you have to feel some inspiration. Like you have to be in the right headspace to be funny, I guess. And so
I think to do anything as well like that, you have to be in the right mood to do that particular.
Yeah.
But for me, I have to sort of get myself in the mood to do a video, for example, and to talk about a particular subject.
Yeah.
Like tonight, like you're talking about with content, like tonight I'm going to do a live simply because I haven't put anything up for the last couple of days. And I just haven't had the time to make a video. So tonight I'm just going to do a live just to kind of update and talk about my book and things like that. So it's just a little bit easier. But you really have to get yourself into that headspace for each video that you do, I think.
Yeah, especially like I said, and then the pressure too, because it's been so long since I made one. I gotta hit them. It's like because people are gonna, when they see that goofy face on that, they're gonna be like, "Oh, the Reverend's back," and it's like I can't let him down. You know what I mean? I gotta come with that fire, man. So it's but I think all creative people kind of go through that to some degree. Songwriters, you're writing a book. I don't know, sometimes people have writer's block where they just don't feel inspired. They just don't feel. Yeah. So it's like for a long time, I just, I was going through personal problems and different things. I just didn't feel funny. I just didn't feel funny. I came on and did the show, of course, because that's therapeutic. That's like family. That's like, getting that positive energy from the family is important, and it's, therapeutic, and just to see everybody and say hey to everybody, hear how people are doing.
Yeah.
So, my man Brett, good to see you, brother. So yeah, I'm getting my mojo back. I'm getting my mojo back, and so yeah, there's going to be some cool things coming. I got to get back in the kitchen. I got my Buckeye waffle bread. Okay, all the carnivores, hide your kids, hide your wife. Okay, all the ladies and children. Okay, this is not a carnivore, not a carnivore dish. So get the hate. Go ahead and get the hate. Get your fingers exercised so I can get all the hate. Dirty, nasty texts and that about this ain't carnivore. So it does have some coconut flour in it, but I definitely need to get that recipe out. A lot of people ask me about that. My waffle bread I think it's fantastic. Just got to get in and get it done. So
I must admit, I do have a weakness for one of the dishes my wife cooks. Yeah, it's a Japanese dish called gyoza. It's like little Japanese dumpling. It's full of meat. She uses nice fatty beef, like ground beef, but it's wrapped in a little sort of thin pastry sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty rare, but it's one of my weaknesses. So
yeah,
hey, Brett, how you doing, mate?
Brett's here, my man. Listen,
give
my, this is my brother right here. We're gonna give him the proper intro. We know this.
This is what happens when you put a link to
all the way.
Go in the.
And listen, hey, you can
just let anybody in here.
Exactly, man. Josephine says, "Oh my God, you're still alive." Listen, you can thank Dave for that, and now Brett for that, because yes, I have fulfilled my contractual obligation to the family a while ago. But folks keep coming in, and folks keep joining on the stream. I am a man of the people. I give the people what they want. I got feeding time I got feeding time at the zoo going on up here from my man, from my man Rick. So, he's smacking his lips and there you go, man. So listen, It's all good. It is all good. Brother, how are you doing tonight?
Oh, me, man, I'm doing great. Just still kind of riding high off of Hack Your Health. It was really great meeting you there, getting to shake your hand and see you in person.
You don't have to lie, man. You don't have to lie. We keep it real. We keep it real on here. You don't have to lie, man. That was only for a time. You only had to. I only paid you to say that for 3 days after the event. So I'm not giving you any more money. I'm not giving you any more.
I'm just sorry we didn't have more time together.
Oh, hey, listen. Yeah, listen. It was tough. There's so many people there. People are pulling different directions. And people had, there were cliques and different things. I mean that in a positive way. I don't mean in a negative way. But people had their groups of people that they knew and stuff. And it was just, there's only so many days and so much time. So there's always going to be somebody that you wanted to spend more time with that you didn't. So I get it, man. I'll be up in September, man. I'll be up that way in September. So we'll definitely get, have more time then. But go ahead.
Yeah. I got to see a lot of people and, but they also kept me hopping too, cooking and, helping out Carrie and Adam and everything. So, but it was a great time. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to next year. It's going to be in Florida. So
yes, and we were talking about that earlier. It's right in Hurricane Alley in the heart of hurricane season. So what could possibly go wrong?
I'm gonna try and get over to America to see that one over in Florida. Actually, so Rick, I'll hopefully drop in and see you there too.
Listen, if you want to come to a keto event in Florida, come to Keto Orlando. It's in August. It's in Orlando. It's in the middle of the state, not close to any oceans. It's way inland, and that'll be or come to the one in January. There's a Low Carb USA event at Boca. That's on the Atlantic coast in January. Both of those, I'm telling you, it is literally a coin flip chance that there'll be a hurricane. I'm not. You guys think I'm kidding? I'm not. Look at the history of hurricanes in the state and the worst hurricanes. Hurricane Katrina, all of them are in September. You know, all of them are on the Gulf side. So
I'm not
I'm
too
not
worried
kidding
about
around. I'm not.
storms.
Hurricane
And
Andrew.
listen, 99.9% of everything I say is a joke. I am serious as a judge right now about that. It is literally the heart of hurricane season in Hurricane Alley. So I keep my fingers crossed for everybody.
There'll be snakes flying everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, you'll get in. The question is, will you get out? You know, you can make it. Hey, I will, because I only live 180 miles from there. So I'm going to be fine no matter what. I may have to end up having some folks over here. We just had to, you know, get some tents and have our own tent city. But yeah, man, but it'll be fun.
That sounds good.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I saw somebody. I was just talking about my Buckeye waffle bread, and I saw somebody in here talking about chaffles. And yes, that's Rosalind. Yeah, I'm not a chaffle fan. That's why the whole chaffle thing set me on my quest for the perfect.
What the hell is a chaffle?
A chaffle is a cheese. You take 1 egg and I think 4 or 8 ounces of 1 egg and 4 ounces of cheese, maybe shredded cheese, and you mix it up in a bowl and put it in a waffle maker, and it makes a, in my opinion, very cheesy, waffle. And listen, you guys know I'm cheesy enough. Okay, I don't need any more. I don't need any more cheese in my life. I got all the cheese I need right between these ears. Okay, so I didn't.
And there's more proof.
Yeah. So it's not. I mean, it's not the worst thing ever, but I didn't like it. I wanted something to complement what I'm doing. I don't want to go down a rabbit hole with a whole other food group. But I make salmon salad, egg salad. I make tuna salad. It would be nice to have some bread-like thing to have with that. I eat bacon and eggs, sausage and eggs and stuff in the morning. Maybe slather a little mayonnaise on there and make a little breakfast sandwich. Something kind of to complement what I'm doing, not to, start eating all that. So the chaffle did not work for me. It was too crunchy, crispy, and cheesy. And then I tried some of the other things. I didn't try them. They were way too complicated. Listen, if you watch my channel and watch any of my cooking segments, anything that has more than about 4 ingredients or that requires a kitchen appliance to make it, like other than something that heats, like a mixer or any kind of goofy thing, not doing it. Not going to happen. I hate the kitchen area. The only reason I go in there is because there's food in there. They ought to put a yellow tape around the whole thing because it's basically a crime scene for what I do to perfectly good meat. Okay, but people like to see me cook, so imagine that. Yeah. So I began the quest of trying to find something that was bready, but not cheesy, and of course within my macros, because one of the rules I have about my life is anything that I eat, I need to be able to eat as much as I want of it at any given point in time, because sometimes I'm hungry. It's like if I wake up hungry as a bear, yeah, exactly. And so it's like if I wake up in the morning hungry as a bear and I want to eat 2 breakfast sandwiches, I can do it because these things are only a carb and a half each. So it's not, a big deal. And I don't want anything in my life that's going to be like, oh, I got to count this, or, oh, I can't eat too much of that, because I don't want that. So I could smash a dozen of them, and I like to be around 100 carbs a week max, around 10 to 12 a day. So anyway, I just started down a path, and I won't tell the story because it's, I'll save it for the video. But I tried different recipes, and I came up with a recipe I've never seen anywhere else. And it's fantastic, at least for me. It's just, but the biggest thing was I don't measure anything. So I had to get it down to where I could measure things, because I just throw stuff in the pot and make it. So before I could make a video, I had to measure things out to know exactly how much to put in and all that kind of stuff. Now I figured all that out. Now I just have to film the thing and edit the thing. And that is the part that's been taking me forever. But yes, chaffles are great for some people, but I'm not a huge, I don't like them. It's like a mozzarella stick with no breading. I mean, that's kind of what it's like to me. I mean, but
it's one thing I don't really understand a lot about, because to me, honestly, like, food is it's just nutrients. It's just food. I'm not that obsessed with food. Like I just
I hear that.
I would go
hear
without
that.
eating. I could.
I hear
But
that, but I'm
people
not.
love watching people cook for some reason. I think they're still obsessed with food.
Well, I understand. Again, it takes all different types of people to make the world go round. But eating is the first and last pleasure that you have in life. When you're a newborn baby and you cry, and then mama gives you that good milk or whatever, buddy, you are just as happy as you can be, and you're smiling and all that. And then as soon as you go, I cry again. It's like and same way when you get elderly. I remember my grandmother. She died in her 90s, and she had a throat condition, and the doctor told her she had to stop eating. And we were at the doctor, and he goes, well, you could choke because your throat, she's like 95 years old. She said, well, you guys better start digging my grave right now because I'm eating on the way home. She's like, that's all I got left. She's like, if you take that away from me, I might as well just start digging the grave now because I'm eating on the way home. And she's and listen, we went through the KFC, and she got her typical chicken and biscuits and that, and she ate it on the way home. She ate it, chewed it more slowly and all that, and she ended up dying in her sleep. I think she was 93 or 94 when she died. But in a way, it's exactly right. Eating is the first pleasure in life and probably the last pleasure of life for a lot of people. And so I like flavors. I like certain flavors and certain things. Got to have a little variety. I can't eat the same thing every day for more than a few days, or I'm going to hurt someone. It's like if I make steak, seriously, I mean, it's like I get homicidal about it. It's like I make steaks, and by the fourth day, I look down in that dish, and I'm like, yeah, somebody's going to die if I have one more day of steak.
Well,
it ain't going to be me.
That's the sign you're just not hungry then, like maybe just,
No. I just, no. I know when I'm 55 years old, I'm hungry. But I have the wherewithal to have something else. I can have a brisket. I can have a roast. I can have lamb. I need something. Yeah, I understand.
Well, you need variety too. You need variety too because you can't just survive on one type of animal fat either. But
I was like that. I was like that when I was eating the wrong things too. It's not a thing that just started with this. When I was eating the wrong things, I couldn't eat pizza every day for a week straight. I'd want to hurt somebody. By the third day, I'm like, if I see another slice of pizza, I'm throwing somebody out a window. Yeah. I'm like, let's do something else. Have tacos. So, shout out to Adam Lacey, my buddy to the show. He is not like that. He could literally eat the same thing every day for the rest of his life. I'm not capable of that. It's just I'm wired differently. I don't need a lot of variety, but I gotta have some. I mean, unless I'm like, if I was chained to if I was in a cell and they just threw a steak in there every day, I mean, I wouldn't starve to death. But that's really, you'd have to chain me to something because I really would be ready to hurt somebody after a few days of it. What do you think about that, Brett?
Well, I eat a lot of steak, and I try to prepare it in different ways and mix it up. So I guess, if I had steak every day for a week, I'd probably start to get a little tired of it. I mix it up. I have some lamb that I do, burgers, make a bacon and eggs for dinner, kind of mix it up. But I've pretty much been eating the same, probably 10 things in variation, for over a year now, and I haven't gotten tired of them. So it's mixing it up that's important, I think. I mean, heart attack chicken every day. I mean, you'd eventually get sick of it, wouldn't you?
I have it every day. It don't bother me.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it's just funny how people are wired differently. It's like, I don't know what it. I just don't know what it. Just like, for instance, used to talk about the Band-Aid rippers, like people who just, they're all in cold turkey. I'm like, cold turkey is for sandwiches. Okay. I'm not doing anything cold turkey. I mean, it's like if I had to quit smoking, I would need the gum, the patch, a seance, a witch doctor, a hypnotist, the patch again, more gum. I mean, I would get there. But, you know, I would just, and the same way with me in this carnivore life and all that. I had to do it little bits at a time. I could not just throw everything out and go, I will not sustain that. My mind just doesn't work.
I think, apart from your mindset too, though, Russ, I think for your size, it's much safer to do it gradually as well.
Yeah. Well, I'm doing it the way that I know I can do it. You know, that because to me, that is the key is sustainability. You know, I just, you know, that's what I care about more than anything. It's something I can do for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? Because that's where you're going to see the result after 5 or 10, you know, years of doing it. What's the point of, you know, doing something drastic that you can't sustain? And then, you know.
You just saw me eat dinner.
Yeah.
2 pounds of meat. I do this all the time. Doesn't require any work. Put it in the kitchen, turn on the fire. When it smells good, you start eating it. It's so simple. That's why I can't understand why people go to a drive-through or they order food or they go to a restaurant. You got to wait forever. It's a pain in the neck. You know, you're trying to get stuff done. You get home from work. You want to eat. You want to go and you got to clean up and go to some stupid restaurant, sit there and wait for an order, wait for somebody to bring you the food. I'm an adult. I got 2 hands and 2 legs. I can get my own food. I can catch it, cook it, kill it, cook it, you know, whatever it takes. It's just so simple. I mean, you see, my day's been hectic. Now I feel good. I've had beef. I've had 2 pounds of beef, and you know, I'll take my bath and I'll go to bed. I'll sleep good all night. I wake up in the morning. I got another pound of. I'll have some pork and 6 eggs and some cheese and you know, or beef or whatever. I mean, I could eat beef at every meal if I had it. It's just too expensive, so I have to eat what I can get.
Yeah, I agree, Rick. I think it's much easier to do it at home than it is to go out, like go to the drive-through. It's much quicker too to just cook it at home.
And if you got a car, you got an engine, you got a portable grill, that's what I should do. I should start offering merchandise, Rick's portable grills, because once you've had a portable grill, you will never, ever want to waste your time with some minimum wage worker talking to a speaker that sounds like it's in the bottom of a toilet and then trying to figure out what you're going to order. I mean, I've been with people in the drive-through. Like, what is that? You know, I'll have a number 2. I said, number 2, that's what I do in my bathroom. I mean, come on.
They always put the most illiterate people on the drive-through. I don't know what that is. It's like if you are the dumbest, most illiterate person in the building, like you get a headset. Is it
that way in Australia too?
The other problem I have is that stupid speaker is at the wrong height. If you're in a car, it's too far away. If you're in a truck, it's too far down. So I got a guy that wants some drive-through. I got to open the door. I got to talk to the stupid thing. I said, look, you know, we'll just go to the stupid Checkers. They got it on both sides. You can talk out of the window. I hate that darn thing. When mother wanted that crap from the fast food place, I'd walk up. I'd go inside. I wouldn't waste my time in a drive-through. I'd park my car. Of course, the thing smoked so much and it made so much noise. Drive-through was impossible. They call the fire department when they see me coming. All that smoke coming out. People are coughing.
It's bad enough people are too lazy to get out of the damn car. They have to go through a drive-through. But now, like here, it's really popular. They have that menu log and these all these delivery companies. They won't even leave the damn house. They just like order in. They're at home anyway. Why not just cook?
Well, that's it. If you're going to be in the house, do what I do. Just use your kitchen. You got a kitchen in there. It's not a show place. It's a place to make food. You got a refrigerator. You know, I don't mind. It's like when I go to the store, everybody uses a shopping cart. I don't use a shopping cart. You know, shopping carts weren't invented, I think, until Piggly Wiggly. Most people used to go to the grocer. They'd get the stuff. They'd carry it home in a bag. All I do is walk to the back of the store. I grab. It's not unusual when it's on sale. I could grab 50 pounds of meat walking out of the store carrying these bundles of meat. And people look at me. They already look at me because I'm so tall and unusual looking. I was at the store with a friend of mine. He says, everybody looks at you like strange. I said, yeah, I know. Because they're like, what is that? What planet is that from? This guy's crazy. Going to the meat section. Sometimes I've been there with packages of ground beef, sometimes 20 packages, carrying it to the store, scanning it through the self-scanner, and they look as like, what is that? What kind of person is this? And I walk right through.
What's ironic, Rick, is that you started the carnivore diet. One of the reasons, as I remember, is because you were sick and tired of being the weird one at school, the little weird one at school. Now you're the super tall weird one. Everyone still looks at you. And
now he's a weird. Yeah, now he's a tall weird one on a podcast on a stream, on a live stream with 3 other guys.
Rick's the only one that started the carnivore diet out of spite.
That's right.
Out of hate.
I wanted a heart attack.
I was talking to my teenage daughter.
To actually try and get sick.
I was talking to my teenage daughter the other day. She's a senior, and she took home ec this last semester, and she was telling me about how many of the kids in the class didn't know how to boil water. They didn't know how to do anything. They didn't know how to measure anything. They didn't know how to use the oven at all, or the microwave. Just does everything for them. They do DoorDash.
Sad future for the West, honestly. Like, it is a very sad future for the West. It really is.
That's why DoorDash is so popular now with the 20-something crowd, because half of them probably don't know how to use the oven.
Yeah. Hey, my advice to you would be to get your daughter away from all those Democrats. No! Okay, I did not mean that. That was a joke. Shout out to Robin. Carnivorous grandma's here. What's going on, sis?
They think the kitchen is painted there. Like there's nothing actually useful in there.
Yeah, I hate the whole kitchen area too, but I do know how to boil water, and I have documented video that I do know how to do that. So I do want to talk about this just briefly. Lisa says, Max Sherman did a great video on why you get tired of the same food. He said it's the seasonings. Your body tells you enough, but you just meat and salt. You never get tired of it. To which I say, that's discounting a huge thing called human beings. I don't think there's any one reason for anything. There are multiple reasons. Just my opinion. Shout out to Max Sherman, great guy. But that's crazy. Some people are just wired differently. If you don't believe that, have you been watching Rick the whole show? Okay, some people are just different. I mean, some people drive to work a different way every day. They don't want to go the same route every time. Why? Women are great for this. They change their hair color a million times. They rearrange the furniture in the house a million times. Some people
love variety.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not,
even though I only eat meat and eggs, you still have a large variety of meat and eggs out there. Like there's all kinds of eggs, there's all kinds of meats, and I don't think you can get enough nutrients from just beef or just one type of meat source, like one source of meat. You have to mix those fats up.
Yeah. So I mean, I really think that's the nature of it. Some people are just wired. And I don't know if it's something that has to do with being like an artsy kind of person. It's like the people who have analytical kind of scientific minds, they seem like they're more the kind of people who will eat the same thing the same day for like the 15 years. But like the artsy people, like the people who are more creative and the hippie types, they're more the type of people that are going to want to do something different or change it up. Or I don't know. That's purely just an opinion. But I firmly believe you can see it with kids. I mean, little kids are the same way. I mean, little kids are 4 and 5 years old. And literally one kid will be like, oh, we have tuna salad again. And the other kid's eating it up. Now, what do they know about seasonings and all that stuff? I just believe that some people are just wired differently. They like more variety. They like things different. They easily bored, whatever the case may be. It's purely just human differences. And I get this. This is another thing that just, I laugh about it all the time. I hear this all the time. Well, the lion in the jungle doesn't, he just knows it's time to eat and he kills something. Okay, the lion in the jungle doesn't have my Costco card. Okay, I'll take that lion to Costco and set him loose. I guarantee you he'll end up in the bakery just like me. Okay, I mean, I could take a
I don't
dozen
think he'd end
chocolate
up in a
cakes.
bakery, but he'd
If I,
certainly he wouldn't discriminate what meat he ate though.
I promise you, okay, I put a dozen chocolate cakes out in the jungle. That lion will smash them. Okay, I mean,
Would.
Step on them.
Is there anybody that has a bear in the woods and okay? Yes, they eat fish and they're out there, but they will eat bread. And that's not. It's just. Maybe here's a better way to put it. The lion doesn't have options.
Yeah.
If he had options, he'd probably eat the wrong thing just like we do. Okay, we have options.
Not me.
So therefore, we end up, many of us, except for us mere mortals, not superheroes from the planet Carnivore, but for us mere mortals, yeah, we tend to do things that aren't the best for us when we have options. If you locked me in prison and threw a steak in there to me every day, I promise you I would not starve to death. I would be incredibly annoyed and irritated, and I probably would get used to it after a while, and I would hate it, but I would not starve to death. But I'm not in jail anymore. Thank God I have a great lawyer. And I have options. I have choices. So I can have different things. And sometimes it gets me in trouble, but not very much anymore because I'm, a lot tougher and stronger and just better at this than I used to be. But so, yeah, I don't think it's, seasonings. I think some people are just wired differently. That's just my opinion. That's just how I feel.
Well, I believe God loves variety as well. Yeah,
that's a very good point, Dave. That's a very good point.
That's why there's so many of us with different opinions. We all have different opinions, and I mean, look at Rick. Yeah. I mean, that's about as different as you can get.
Listen, we have picked on Rick. This right here, we have it says, I have lived with a bear in my neighborhood. I've seen him carry packs of 20s from people's trash. Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. Look at our dogs and our cats and stuff. I guarantee you, when you throw a biscuit and gravy in the dog's dish, he would rather not have it, but man, he knows it's good and he tears it up, but it's bad for him. And he would rather have raw meat. And he'll eat that too. But, he's going to, his options are such that it's what it is. So no, I'm with you, man. We're all saying the same thing. And listen, I always say this too. We have insulin and a pancreas for a reason. And I'm not a big vegetable guy, but I'm not against them. And I do believe vegetables have some medicinal qualities and some things. I was sick recently and I took some herbs and some different things, and I'm not certainly embarrassed or ashamed of it, but I don't have a use for them every day in my life, or even every week for that matter, every month.
I always eat more fat if I get a cold or flu or anything like that. The fat,
eat liver.
Yeah.
I always fast.
Fat's really great for your vitamin D production because you like vitamin D is a hormone, so I don't supplement with that because it's like TRT. If you over supplement with testosterone, for example, your body stops producing it, and vitamin D is exactly the same as testosterone. It's produced from your cholesterol. So if you over supplement, your body will just naturally stop producing vitamin D. So that's something I just increase my fat intake.
Yeah,
plus you get too that goes with it, because the fats have so many other things that complement each other, for your hormone production. So
yeah, I guess you could call it my first fast because I didn't eat anything for 2 days, and that's very common with me when I get sick. I can't eat anything. I have no appetite. I sleep like a newborn, and I took some cough medicine because I could not sleep. I just was coughing so bad. And I have some herbal things I've had around here, some echinacea, elderberries, and different things like that. But yeah, I don't get hungry. So yeah, you could say that's the COVID fast or the bronchitis fast. I don't know what the flu fast, I guess. It's a heck of a diet. That's for sure. But it's not a lot
I like to fast when I get sick. Find that I get over it a lot faster because fasting will boost your immune system.
I have no.
Yeah, because
it's not,
I think what it is, when you fast, you actually produce more cholesterol, and that in turn helps like produce more hormones. So because like D3 and testosterone, which actually help your immune system a lot. So fasting is really good.
I don't have a choice. It's an involuntary fast. I literally I can't eat anything. I'd have to literally force it down. I drank, I have some electrolytes and stuff. I drank that, but I literally can't eat anything. And that's when I know I'm going to be okay. I remember one time years ago, I hadn't been sick since before COVID, as crazy as that sounds. I hadn't been sick at all. So I knew it was going to be a doozy. And years ago, I was sick, and my girlfriend at the time, I hadn't eaten for like 3 days. And I told her, I said, if I wake up tomorrow and I'm not hungry, I'm going to the doctor because I know I'm messed up. Next morning, I woke up, I was hungry as a bear, and I knew I was okay. And the same thing happened. Like I didn't eat anything Tuesday and Wednesday. I was done. I mean, I came home. I got home Tuesday. I came from Pensacola. I had to stop 3 times. It's only like 320 miles. I had to stop 3 times. I couldn't keep my eyes open. I almost like stayed over, but I just wanted to get home. I've been away from home so long. And I slept like a newborn. I'm telling you, I slept 18 hours a day for 2 days straight and just drank. And then that Thursday I woke up, I was hungry as a bear. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to be okay. And so, I'm good now. But yeah, I just can't. I always get sick the same way, and it's always kind of the same series of events. And yeah, when I'm sick, you can forget it. I can't eat anything. But I did take, like I said, some of those herbs and that. And yeah, again, people, this to some is a controversial view, but I think it's just common sense. There's we have a pancreas for a reason. We have insulin for a reason. And I think little bits of carbohydrates for most people, for 99% of people, are just not a big deal. And I don't trip about it or make a big deal about it.
We have the capability to deal with carbohydrates because we still, even if you are just on an animal-based diet, like on an animal-only diet, you still get carbohydrate.
Yes,
from blood and things like that, electrolytes and everything like that. So you're gonna. I mean, your body needs to be able to produce, or deal with even the smallest amounts. But I mean, it's just the overabundance that we have in society, at the moment, especially.
That's right. That's right.
We have just that constant attack, like a high glucose, blood glucose levels. The chronic elevated glucose is pretty much the base for pretty much most diseases. That's the problem.
No doubt about it. I agree 100%. Chronic elevated insulin and blood close together. Yeah, I mean, it's there's no doubt about it. But like I said, we're big tent here. We're not super judgmental. We just, want people to be happy and healthy and be on a path to better health and be on a path to better life. Everybody's, I tell people all the time, it's not a race. It's not a contest. I'm not on here trying to out keto anybody or out carnivore anybody. I'm not racing anybody. I'm, just putting one foot in front of the other on my path. And that's what I encourage everybody to do. And yeah, I can't lie. When you see people losing this hundreds of pounds and doing all this stuff, sometimes it can be a little disappointing. Sometimes you can, if you look to the right or the left, be like, well, why not me? Why can't I have that blood sugar down? Or why am I still on this medication? But you just can't do that. You just got to stay on your path, believe in what you're doing, monitor your blood.
Trust the process.
Yeah. And I'm not willing to do things that others have done. Like I'm not doing all the crazy challenges and the fasting. I'm not. So yeah, maybe I could have lost 100 pounds by now if I'd have done that. But that's something that I know I can't sustain, and something that I know myself well enough to know that will probably end up derailing me. I mean, so I just, until I get to the point, it's like anything else, man. When you walk into the gym for the first time, you can't squat 1,000 pounds. I mean, you have to work up to it and build up to it. So, will I fast one day and like Super Brett over there and fast for 17 weeks? Maybe, maybe one day I will, but it ain't going to be tomorrow. I can tell you that.
Okay. Anyway, guys, I got to head off. So thanks for the chat.
Yeah, we're actually going to wrap
soon.
it. We're going to wrap it up, man. This has been
See
the
you.
marathon edition of the Keto Cookout, everybody. I appreciate you being with us. We'll be back here next Tuesday at 9:00 Eastern to do it all again. I can't thank you enough for all the support. Thank my man, Charger Mopar, and Brett and Dave. Check out their channels. I'll take down this thing here so you can see their channels. Like and subscribe to everybody. And they're all friends of the show. They'll all be back. But we'll see you next Tuesday. And God bless everybody. We'll see you on the next.
All right. Have a good day. See ya.
Keep on quacking.